Let's talk about something, which is still relevant today, especially in the context of cow politics, so call it what we want. And you made a passing reference to in 1966, right?
7th of November,
so, yeah,
1966.
When many sannyasi sadhus...
First attack on Parliament.
Parliament, yeah.
Sannyasi, sadhus...
People died after that because of the police backlash.
Firing.
Committee was set up.
No, before that, the Home Minister resigned. Gulzari Lal Nanda had to resign. Y.B. Chavan becomes the Home Minister. And a couple of months later, Mrs. Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, sets up the high-level committee to look at the whole issue of a national law to protect the cow, to prevent cow slaughter, national law. And she makes a couple of chief ministers, Charan Singh and D.P. Mishra, the chairman of the members of the committee. And guess what? She makes M.S. Golwalkar, the Mohan Bhagwat of his day, the head of the RSS, a member of this committee. It's unheard of. Indira Gandhi making M.S. Golwalkar a member of a committee that looks into the question of a national law to ban cow slaughter. The committee meets for 12 years.
And then it gets disbanded by Morarji Desai.
In 1979, it never produces a report.
Then did she merit... did she see merit in the argument that there were perhaps environmental reasons behind which,
No,
cows...
I think...
How do you read the decision to set up the committee, or was it just political pressure?
No, there was a lot of pressure. The RSS had orchestrated this huge protest in Parliament, and there are, delightful memoirs by Ashok Mitra and V. Kurian of Amul, who were members of this committee. And that's the only record of this committee. I couldn't find any other primary records of this committee. But the fact is that she set up this committee with Golwalkar. 12 years it meets. There's no report, and finally, in frustration, Morarji Desai just disbands the whole committee.
Any learning from that episode today that we can... Any takeaway from that, or is that something that
historical one must... There's only historical interest.
How would Indira Gandhi, if, let's just say, a counterfactual question, if Indira Gandhi, as you've said, she was a reluctant politician, if she was not thrown into politics, would she have taken up a career?
Yeah, she has. There are so many letters that she has written to her close friends. Dorothy Normal, Pupul Jaikar, various others, Lucille Kyle, which I have got. Which say that, look, if I was not in politics, I would have gone to the mountains, had a house, I would have been a naturalist. She would have maybe a teacher in botany, because she was very fond of birds, and she was very knowledgeable about trees, very knowledgeable about birds, and she was a keen trekker. Till the late 50s. She was a very keen trekker. She trekked in Kashmir, she trekked in Himachal Pradesh. So she was a naturalist.
So it's possible that she would have her career. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's difficult to imagine Indira Gandhi anything other than politics, right? So she's the quintessential politician. I mean, even Nehru, one can see him as an intellectual, as a professor somewhere. But Indira Gandhi is your quintessential politician. I think that's the wrong image of Indira Gandhi. See, Indians have two images of Indira Gandhi. There's the Durga image, which Atal Bihari Vajpayee called her Durga. The woman who liberated, who fought Pakistan, created Bangladesh, nationalized banks, the courageous leader, who took steps to make India self-reliant in food and in rice and wheat, the Durga. The other image is, the architect of the emergency. She's vilified. She's the architect of the emergency. She allowed Sanjay Gandhi to run riot on the Maruti factory, and so on and so forth. But somewhere between these two extremes is an Indira Gandhi struggling to come out. And that's what I say. This book really is an exploration. I've explored a side of her personality which few people realized existed. Many naturalists knew it existed, but not to this level, not to this depth, The amount of time that she spends, particularly in the 16 years that she is Prime Minister, is
despite all the pressure that her office brought in, she still had the time to sort of take a step back.
Not only that, in 1972, when the first UN conference on the environment takes place in Stockholm, she is the only Prime Minister to go and speak. The only other Prime Minister was Olof Palme. He had to be there because he was Prime Minister of Sweden. 20 years later, at the Rio summit, there are more than 100 presidents and prime ministers who attend the Rio summit. And today, of course, if you have a meeting on environment, every prime minister and president will land up, except perhaps President Trump. But the fact is that in the 70s, globally, she was the only leader talking consistently on environment, and stressing the development dimension of environment. That, you need development, but you also need development that protects the environment.
Jairam Ramesh, absolute pleasure. Wish you all the very luck.
Thank you.
Go grab your copy, Indira Gandhi, Life in Nature by Jairam Ramesh is out in the stands. From all of us here, many thanks for watching this edition of Book It.